Okay, so let's take a look at how you can use arangodb query language within your arangodb database, right? So what we're going to do is we already have one of the database, and I will show you how to make the queries to fetch specific output out of that query, right? So if you haven't signed up to arangodb cloud, what you can do is go to arangodb.com, then click on trial, and it should show you something like this. Then you will have to sign up, right? And here you see email address and password you have to choose. And then once everything is done, you will be getting to dashboard. Here you will have to create deployment. For example, I created one with this Google Compute platform, right, where I have created the arangodb aardvark dashboard, which is in this particular endpoint, right? There is a root password, you can copy it, right? You can also view it if you want, right? Next thing would be to, let's go and open aardvark web interface. Now it will allow me to log into system database, right? And if I click on login, I can choose from my own database or from underscore system. So let's go directly to my database, DemoDB or DevNami demo, right? So here I will show you the number of collections I have. So I created two collections, one being employee, which has this JSON data here. You can see employee first name, last name, joining date, location, ID, etc. Right? Now coming back to another collection, which is employees, which is different than the previous one, where I have department, salary, name. Within that, documents like this, I have created like 4 to 5 documents, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So total 6 documents I have there within collection called employees. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make various queries. So if you click on queries tab, you will be presented with something like this. So here what we're going to do is we are going to type in our query, say something like return, and then your string, and if you execute, right, here you don't have to use semicolon like you do with SQL, just your query and you get the output, right? So this is one thing. Next thing would be you have option to select all the documents from your collection, then choose to insert something or choose to remove something or update or replace, right? So these are some of the things that we can do, right? And there is one conditional result set as well, which is going to allow you to fetch specific result out of your collection. So let's see, if we start from fetching all the documents, so I'm going to use for document in employee, right, and then use tab and then return doc. So if I run this, it should fetch all the 6 documents from that collection, where you can see it has ID, revision ID, key, then 4 columns showing department, name, phone, and salary, right? So we managed to fetch all those results using the query, right? So you can take a look at this doc word, which is just a word. You can make it even say something like you, not necessarily have to be doc. Result will be same because this is just a object that pointing out to documents within employees collection, right? Now let's say if I want to insert something into the employees collection, So we want to insert a new document. So what we can do, so say we use insert, right? And here let's see, if I choose name, right, and let's see, I use name Adam, then salary, let's see 220999, right? Then we have department, see marketing, then comes phone, right? So for phone, let's see, right, so we have like these fields within our document: name, salary, department, phone, etc. Now if I wish to insert this into, right, employees, right, and if I push this, it should show me the data inserted. So before that, we will take a look at employees, which doesn't contain name Adam. Also, it doesn't have seventh entry, which is this entry, right? So execute, and as you can see, the content pushed. So we remove this now, and we will go back to our for query. So for doc in employees return doc. So if I execute this, it will lead you to 7 results. So we have like these fields within our table, right? So practically we managed to insert some data into our collection, and that becomes our new document. Now let's say if I want to particularly manipulate document, so what I can do about it. So instead of using replace, I can also use update. Then I will have to use a key, right? So I will use a key called, say, this, right? So if we can use that, or we can also use underscore id, but often what happens is that id is not selected there. So we'll take a look at that part. So we will select this, and one of the id selected. Next we will go with our data, right? So here let's change few things, right? So here we can change the j to jack, right? Then we also change phone number, right, because I want to do it with change to that as well, right? So name and phone number changed, and from which collection? In employees, right? And if we run this, it should update our G, right? So let's execute this. So it is properly executed. Now if I go back to my query of for doc in employees return doc, right, and here you see our key, which was this particular that we copied. J is now Jake, and phone number is changed, right? So these some of the changes we made with update query. Now let's see if I want to remove a particular entry, right? So what can be done in that case? So let's see if I want to remove this anon CEO entry. So I will just copy the key, right, and then select this, and then what I can do is use remove, right? So here let's say remove, and then within quote I'm going to paste that particular key and in employees, right? If I run this, it should remove that document. Now let's go back and check whether our CEO position exists. So for doc in employees return doc. So if we run this, we have CO position removed from our table. So what we have done so far is we managed to select all the data with for query, and next we used insert query to add document into collection. We manipulated document by using update query. Then we use delete query, right, to remove particular employee from the table here, right. We also looked at return keyword for showing some print statement on our result set, right. Similarly, there is one more thing you can take a look at is conditional result set, right. So let's take a look at one of the example. Right below we have our table, and let's say I want to find out who has the salary bigger than 3000, right, or 4000, and only output those people within my result set. So let's say, so for doc in employees, right, and then here return doc dot salary greater than 3500. Now if I run this, it shows me everything as false. So here the condition was the salary, which needs to be this. Now let's execute this. Okay, the s was lowercase, so turns out everything is false. Now if we take a look at the corrected result set, here you see the first entry was under 3500, second was under 2, then rest of the entries were above 3000, right. So they turn out to be true in that case. So here you see the conditional result set output within the query. So these are the examples of how you can use ArangoQL or AQL within your database and collections, right, to manipulate your documents, manipulate your entries, and output as you require, right. There are many other things that you can do: filter, sorting. You can also conditionally check some of the parameters and only output that, just like we did with salary, right. So these are some things you can do with ArangoQL. So if you want to try that out, what you can do is you make sure to create your arangodb instance, then log in to your database, right. Then you create your collections, add some data in your documents, then go to queries and basically output your data with these queries. Then based on the type of operation you wish to do, you can use insert, update, replace, upsert, delete, or remove query for manipulating the data.